What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, and good to see you joining the stream today. We've got a whole lot unfolding around Social Security, Medicare, and even some letters that are hitting mailboxes across America. And many of you have been asking what's real and what's not. So we're going to walk through all of it together, and we're going to do it in that live, real-time feel we always keep here. If you're just coming in, drop a quick yes in the chat so I know you can hear me loud and clear, and let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing the mix of people across the country, especially our seniors, our Social Security recipients, our retirees, and everyone who's trying to make ends meet in this economy. So settle in, because there's a lot to unpack, and some of these updates hit home hard for older Americans who are already stretched thin and trying to stay afloat. And before we go deeper, welcome to Truth Lens, the channel where we look at what's happening in America through a clear, straightforward lens without the confusion and without the filter. Every live stream we do is about bringing clarity, especially for people who feel overlooked, and that includes millions of seniors, disabled Americans, and folks relying on Social Security who live month to month, dollar to dollar. If you're new here, this is the energy, real talk, real updates, and we break everything down so that you don't have to sift through the noise. So hit that thumbs up and keep the chat moving, because we're diving in. All right, let's get straight to the first big thing that has so many people messaging, emailing, and reaching out. A wave of official letters and notices is being sent out by the Social Security Administration. And yes, for those of you who have been asking nonstop, these ones are real. They're legitimate. The Social Security Administration is sending out new 2026 benefit notices, and these are going to millions of Americans. Some of you may have already seen them online through your My Social Security account, and others will be receiving physical letters in the mail between early December and the end of the month. If you're seeing dollar amounts, exact payment dates, and cost of living adjustments listed in a one-page format, that's exactly what these new notices look like, and these are part of this SSA's rollout for the upcoming year. Now let's talk about what those numbers mean, because I know every penny matters to so many seniors who join us here daily. The cost of living adjustment for 2026 is officially set at 2.8%, and I already see the comments rolling in. Yes, that's lower than so many people expected, especially with how expensive everything feels. The average increase works out to around $56 per month, a little over $600 per year, but keep in mind that's the average. Some people will see more, some will see less. And I know many seniors listening right now are already shaking their heads because groceries alone have gone up by more than that amount. Not to mention rent, utilities, medical costs, and everyday essentials. For millions of retired Americans, that small bump doesn't stretch far, especially when every month starts to feel like squeezing water from a rock. Seniors on fixed incomes already face the rising pressure of inflation, and even though this adjustment is supposed to help, for many it barely covers the difference in prescription prices alone. Now, here's the part that has people talking even louder. Medicare. Part B premiums for 2026 are jumping 9.7%. Yes, almost 10%. The standard premium is going from $185 to $202.90, which pulls more money directly out of seniors' monthly checks. So while Social Security goes up 2.8%, Medicare goes up nearly 10%. And I can already hear the frustration in the comments, because this is the reality for so many older Americans. Every year, more money gets taken out, but the raise doesn't match the real cost of living. Every senior watching knows that their bills don't rise gently. They jump. And when Medicare takes a bigger bite, the leftover check shrinks, making it harder for seniors to keep food in the fridge, pay the electric bill, cover rent, or even help a grandchild during the holidays. It's a tough cycle to watch, especially knowing so many seniors worked hard their whole lives, paid into the system, and are now stuck trying to stretch limited dollars further than ever. But that's not the only thing happening. A lot of you have been messaging me about Medicare Advantage plans being changed, reduced, or even dropped entirely. One major provider is dropping around 1 million seniors from their plans. And there are other changes happening across Medicare Advantage and Medicare Part D. This transition between 2025 and 2026 is causing major shifts. And I know many of you in chat rely on these plans because Medicare Advantage often covers things traditional. Medicare doesn't. So when plans disappear, premiums shift, or drug coverage changes, the result is confusion. And for seniors living paycheck to paycheck, confusion is more than just annoying, it's dangerous. It leaves too many people unsure about whether they'll still have coverage for their medications, procedures, or doctors. Now let's switch gears for a moment because there's another type of letter floating around that is not legitimate. And this one is big. There's a scam circulating where people are receiving what looks like an official letter from the United States Supreme Court with seals, signatures, and scary language claiming that the recipient is under investigation. And let me just say this clearly. The Supreme Court does not send letters like that, not to individuals, not about investigations, not about Social Security, not about anything like that. The letter is a scam designed to scare people into handing over personal information or money. Seniors especially are being targeted because scammers know older Americans are more likely to respond to what appears to be an official government notice. These scammers count on fear, confusion, and urgency. And for too many seniors already dealing with tight budgets, rising medical costs, and overwhelming paperwork, a letter like that can create panic that these criminals take advantage of. Now, earlier today, the Social Security Commissioner appeared in an interview addressing several major topics, from service issues to call wait times, fraud tools, staffing changes, and even the long-term solvency of Social Security. He discussed efforts to improve call response times, claiming the average now sits around 7 minutes compared to nearly 30 minutes under previous leadership. He talked about improving morale inside the agency, improving scheduled appointments, and using tools, including artificial intelligence, to identify fraud. And yes, the conversation about the program's 90-year history came up, along with the lingering question of how to preserve it for the long term. Seniors across this country rely on these checks to survive. For many, their Social Security payment isn't just supplemental, it is their entire income. Seniors who message me every week share the same story. They're choosing between medication and meals, heat and electricity, bills and groceries, and those voices deserve to be heard every time Social Security is discussed, because for millions of Americans, losing stability in this program isn't an inconvenience, it's a crisis. Now, toward the end of today's stream, we're also doing something a little lighter, something that brings our community together every year, our holiday giveaways. And I've got my little guy here joining me today, ready to help pull trivia questions. We've done this for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the holiday season for years now, and it's always a blast. We're giving away $200 today, 2 winners receiving $100 each. The way it works is simple. Answer today's trivia question correctly, and you'll be entered into the random pool. The question for today is, which U.S. president made Thanksgiving a national holiday? Drop your answer in the comments or the chat. Go with your best guess, and 2 people who get it right will be randomly selected to win. I'll announce the winners both in the comments and on the next video. And we'll do this again as we get closer to Christmas. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you hit that like button so you don't miss the next live stream, because this community is not just about news. It's about connection. It's about creating a place where seniors, retirees, working Americans, and families can come together and get clarity without feeling lost in the system. And for those of you living on Social Security who come here every day, I see you and I appreciate you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of Truth Lens, and thank you for sharing your experiences because your voices matter. Stay tuned for the next update, and I'll see you all in the next stream.